Recording.
All right. Yeah, where do we go from here?
I don't know, but this is our first I got a lot of questions from people. I've been recovering from this whole surgery thing, so I have to like
Mhm.
sit. So I've been just getting into fights with people on Bleacher Report and the Detroit Lions fan community.
Oh yeah.
And people have like, they're like, oh, you're the guy that does the Patricia videos. Oh, you're the guy that does the LOL Lions thing. So like people watch it. So this is they've been asking if we were gonna do off-season stuff, and this is our first off-season one where
This is our first.
we're gonna discuss the Dream Weaver. Well, that would
Mm-hmm.
be Troy Weaver of the Pistons, but this is close. Brad Holmes,
Hmm.
new general manager for the Detroit Lions. First and foremost, though, I haven't seen you since the ball dropped. Happy New Year to you, my
Oh
friend.
yes. Happy New Year to you as well.
Though I do hope often people say New Year, New You. I hope you don't change it all because I think you're perfect. Okay.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I'm doing push-ups, so I'm trying to get I start doing push-ups. Change a little bit.
just
I don't,
straight prison workouts.
yeah, it really is. I did push-ups and jumping jacks in my room.
Trying to get that heart rate elevated.
Just quarantine, just where I can go. I'll just jump a jack in my room, just because I can't
Slowly
sleep
but
up till
surely,
4 a.m.
you end up in a, or like push-ups, then you're like lifting books over your head and doing dips on your bed, slowly an orange jumpsuit, and then you start wearing a do-rag. Like you just
I did
take on
legit.
convict life.
I legit was like, this had like I found a bike lock just sitting under the bed, and I was like, this can be a weight, and I was like using the bike lock.
And you weren't doing it as a joke either. Like
No, I was alone.
when you tell the story, it's like, oh, this is obviously a joke, but I could totally picture you like
Yeah, I did like 100. I was like, it's not that heavy, but I can feel it.
just a
Yeah, I'm
little
going
burn.
crazy. Yeah, I'm going crazy.
Burn. Well, you look swole, buddy. You look swole.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. There's nothing to do in New York. I got to get out of here. Thinking about going to Florida soon. So
Emily wants to do the same thing. How do you feel about that? I don't know how I feel about traveling. I'm like, Florida's crazy.
Yeah, me and Chloe think we had it already in March. So
I didn't know you guys had it.
Yeah, Chloe got antibodies. Mine, I think, faded away. I got my test. They were like, no, you don't. I was like, why does she still have hers? We were both sick.
Is that why you started lifting bike locks? You're like, I gotta strengthen up.
Yeah, I gotta get healthy. But I'm looking at like from New York to Orlando, $35 round trip.
Nothing wrong with that.
We
were looking at. Are you gonna go and like see the city? Like, what's the plan? I know it's all tentative at this point, and you're going based on prices.
Ideally, I want to. I'm gonna look at prices. I want to get an Airbnb with a pool. Just find a house that has a pool and just hang out in a house. Just hang out in a pool in nice weather. It's cold here. I got to get out. I'm going crazy in my room. It's dreary. Get me to Florida. I'll just go and hang out by a pool.
That is
$35.
exactly
I'm gonna be there.
Emily's plan. She wants to take myself, her, and the girls, fly down to Orlando, go to a little town just outside of it, or maybe near Fort Lauderdale is one of them, because one of them has a pool and like a beautiful house, and then it has a little steps down to the beach.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, I'll go because she's very much, she feels like you. She's going stir crazy. She's like, I can't do it. I need something to look forward to.
Oh
and
yeah.
Like, meanwhile, she's telling me about the 40,000 cases that came out of Los Angeles yesterday. And I'm like, you want to travel? You're not selling. You're in real estate. You're one of the top agents in the state. And you're selling it to me this way?
You just get on a plane. You put 2 masks on. You double mask.
Oh.
You just sit there. You don't touch anything or just breathe. You get there and you just go straight to your little house and you sit by a pool. That's it.
You DoorDash the entire time.
Yep. $35. Be in Florida. It's cheaper than an Uber ride here. It costs $50 to take an Uber to the airport. It's insane.
And that's just one way.
Yeah, that's one way. Yeah, one car ride to the airport's $50. And then I can fly for $35 both ways.
Well, you know who can afford Uber rides and first class round trip fares to the Keys now is a certain Brad Holmes, general manager of the Detroit Lions.
Dang, what a segue.
5-year deal.
What a segue you had there. You're like, all right, how can I do this? This is my little mic I made. Okay, let's see here. What can we do this?
That looks like it's left over from you making a tinfoil hat because you're just into conspiracy theories. You're like, well, now it's pointed, but I got all this extra. I'm gonna make a mic.
Yes, my little microphone. It's a
You know what you could
tell
do?
me, what do you think?
Put up, here's what I think. Put it back up. Put it back up. Here's what, no, to me.
To me.
You?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I think. I think you should roll up another ball of tinfoil, put it on the other side, and use it as a dumbbell.
Oh, there you go. For my prison workout. How do you feel about Brad Holmes? Do you like it?
You tell me, because I got stuff to talk about with you. You tell me what you think. First impressions.
I like it. He's not the best. I mean, he's up there. He's a good candidate, I think, but he isn't like second right below the GM. He's a little bit deeper, so how much of an impact did he have? We'll see. Apparently he had a decent amount in the college scouting, but
he's giving credit for revolutionizing their scouting.
Yeah, he did great scouting, which we need the players. And people do argue that we have the management and the cap managers in place, so we don't need we also need a true GM.
We do have that. I think his name's Mike Disner is our cap specialist. So
yeah, we have a cap specialist, so we don't need like a true GM that does this and that. We kind of just needed somebody that can draft,
find players. Absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't been able to draft, so. And that aspect, I think that's good. I think he's going to be good at drafting. I'm curious about his free agency.
That's one of his. There are essentially two knocks that I've seen on him. One is he has zero experience in the pro personnel department, so it's going to be very interesting how he staffs that position and department up. And he lives in Atlanta. He doesn't work out of Los Angeles. He works basically remotely. He's never been set up in the Rams office on the day-to-day.
Oh, really?
So that'll be a very big transition for him here in Detroit, just kind of being in the building every day, running the day-to-day operations, essentially.
I didn't know that. He works in Atlanta? Why?
Yeah, he lives in Atlanta. I don't know. Maybe that's where his family lives, but everything I can see is, he's never been in the office on the day. I mean, but he's a scout. When the world was open, he was going from place to place. So,
sure, he was scouting a lot. Yeah, and he doesn't have any free agency experience like you said, the pro personnel. But if you look back, we hired a pro personnel guy, and his free agency sucked.
Technically, all New England Patriots are professionals, so that is.
Yeah, last year was a pro personnel guy. Like, I'm a free agency guy, and then he brought in garbage and overpaid for everybody.
Absolutely, he did, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand regarding Brad Holmes. So I want to get into like who he is, how people feel about him, where he came from, what his strengths are, and then his draft acumen. But also, let's just dive into this right now because we're talking about free agency and getting in veterans. Okay. Yes, he was in charge of scouting for the college ranks. He revolutionized their department. However, the Rams haven't picked in the first round since 2016, and they won't until next year unless either they trade back in this year or they trade out next year. But they haven't drafted in the first round for 4 years, and it will be 5 if things stay as they are. The reason they do that is because general manager of the Los Angeles Rams, Les Snead, currently has, but he doesn't work there anymore, has so much confidence in Brad Holmes that he's like, what do you think of this draft? What can we do? I want to send this, and this for this player. Is he more valuable than the draft picks we would get? And he absolutely signed off on all these trades. Listen to the trades that
so they trade a lot of guys.
And I think that is something that could really end up happening with the Lions. I think this guy is going to pull the trigger very similar to what has been done in Los Angeles, which I'll break down in a minute, and will fit into the current scheme of Detroit athletics, given what Troy Weaver has done with the Pistons.
Right. Yeah, Troy Weaver.
So here's how confident Les Snead was and Holmes' ability to draft in the mid rounds. They were fine sending away 4 first round picks since 2016. They traded for people like Brandon Cooks, who I know that doesn't sound great because he's not with the team anymore, but the year they traded for Brandon Cooks, they went to the Super Bowl. He sent away, let's see, to get Jared Goff. Les Snead said, hey, we drafted Sean Mannion in the 3rd round. That didn't work out.
Mhm.
We signed Nick Foles. That didn't work out. Is Jared Goff the best quarterback available? More so, is he a franchise quarterback? Brad Holmes says, yes, he is. Go get him. And the Rams traded up with the Titans from 15 to number 1 to pick Jared Goff, and they sent a 2016 their first round pick in 2016, which was pick 15. Their 2 2016 second round picks. They had 2 picks in the second round. They sent both of them. They sent their 3rd round pick. They sent a 2017 first round pick and a 2017 3rd round pick. Okay. So we're looking at 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and a 3rd round pick they sent for Jared Goff because Brad Holmes said, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead and
they
go
traded,
for it, and I'll find more stuff later.
Yeah.
Great.
And they did.
Okay. Yeah.
And then for Jalen Ramsey, they traded their 2021 first round pick, their 2020 first round pick, and their 4th. This is interesting because we still have to figure out who they're going to end up picking in the first. But Jalen Ramsey, basically, they traded Jalen Ramsey for Kalavion Chason, a D end out of LSU that's playing in Jacksonville right now. And then they also have their first round pick this year. They traded 3rd round pick for Dante Fowler, who's just a beast off the edge.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still there, but I know that, I mean, that's a good pick. Marcus Peters, they sent for a 2nd and a 4th, and they got Aqib Talib for a 5th. These players they basically traded Aqib Talib for Agbonya Okoronkwo, a linebacker out of Oklahoma. Who would you have? Who would you rather have? Obviously Aqib Talib. Marcus Peters for Armani Watts, a safety out of Texas A&M, and Juan Thornhill, a safety out of Virginia. Who would you want? Marcus Peters, obviously. They traded Dante Fowler for Colin Johnson, a linebacker out of Murray State. I mean, why would you not want Dante Fowler over that? We've never heard of these people. And then the Jared Goff trade, I mean, give Tennessee some credit because basically the trade was Jared Goff, and with the picks they got from the Rams, the Tennessee picked out Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, and Jonnu Smith.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. But still,
he's also responsible for the trade in 2012 when the Rams fleeced the Washington, formerly known Redskins, when they traded the Rams traded their number 2 pick with Washington, which they used on RG3, and they got the number 14 pick, the number 39 pick, another first round pick in 2013, and a first round pick in 2014. They got 3 first round picks and a second round pick, so Washington could trade up to get the second.
Okay.
And all these trades happen because Brad Holmes is like, I can get you guys. Listen to the guys they got in that Washington trade. They got Michael Brockers, who is their starting D end. They got Janoris Jenkins, who's not with the team, but he is a great corner, and he's now playing in New Orleans in one of the best defensive backfields in the league. They got Alec Ogletree, one of the better linebackers in the game at his time. And he did blow the 2014 number 2 pick, as Lions fans well know. That was tackle Greg Robinson.
Okay, so I wonder if we could expect a lot of first round picks disappearing.
I mean, based on the return they got for some of these guys, would you be mad to get a Jalen Ramsey?
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I do wonder. They were also in a win now. They weren't building when they made these trades.
Yeah, this is going to be building for us. And I do wonder, we have 5 picks this year.
Oh.
Is he going to be trading down a lot to acquire more picks?
Or is he going to be trading Matthew Stafford to acquire other picks? Because they're saying that Peyton out there in Denver is very interested in Matthew Stafford. That would give us the number 7 and 9 pick, allow us to pick a game-changing defender, a quarterback of the future. So where he traded away picks to get players in a building situation, you'd have to imagine that he would trade away players to get picks.
Oh, and just acquire as many picks as he can.
Yeah, to try and build around.
Yeah, that does depend on where he sees them. Yeah, if he thinks there's quarterbacks in this draft.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's and one of the things too that people come out and say, Carlos Monterez is he's a writer for the Detroit Free Press.
Sorry,
Carlos. No, you're good.
Yeah. Jeez Louise, unbelievable.
Carlos Monterez is a writer for the Free Press, and he only says negative things about the Lions. He thinks it worked for Drew Sharp. That got him on ESPN. So Monterez just like, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get on ESPN. I'm just going to bag on the Lions constantly. The one credit he gives Brad Holmes is Brad Holmes knows how to draft quarterbacks.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's great. For a guy who has nothing but negative things to say.
Wait, hold on. Let me pause this.
Okay.
Jeez Louise. I think Chloe. Oh. Okay, there. I just got to talk wider. I was being too loud. She's recording things, and everyone's recording things right now.
Well, this is an exciting thing. No one can fault you for your volume.
Thank you.
It's very, very exciting. But yeah, so we have to decide whether or not there's a player available at 7 or 9 if we were to trade away.
Trade away with Stafford.
I mean, he's really the only trading chip, but also the uncertainty surrounding Stafford is why a lot of these coaches and general managers are like, I don't know if I want to go to the Lions because, I mean, what's going on with their quarterback?
Yeah, what's the uncertainty? What does Brad Holmes think?
Yeah. Well, who knows? Because I mean, it seems like we've got our coach lined up, which we will talk about in another episode.
Yeah, we'll do a coach episode. This one's just about Brad Holmes. Yeah, he's going to need more than 5 picks this year.
Absolutely.
Especially if they brought him in thinking it could be a turnaround year. Like if they do keep Stafford and they think they can flip us in 2 years, he's going to need more than 5 picks to do so.
Well, and you have to imagine people are out there suggesting that, well, maybe the Lions trade Stafford to the Patriots for a second and a third. And it's like, if you're not getting at least a first and a third, you can't make the deal. He's worth way more. And I mean, who knows who would go get him? I don't know what Denver's draft capital is like. I saw an article today where they're like, it really makes sense for the Jets to trade a bunch of picks because they have a bunch of picks for Deshaun Watson and Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah, that'd be huge.
Wouldn't that just be great for Saleh?
That's right, you lost your Saleh. But we got your Brad Holmes. I know you like Brad Holmes.
I'm happy about Brad Holmes. I am. Okay, let me ask you. Oh, and this is about. Well, what do you want? Let's talk about who this man is. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk
about. This man
him.
is very well respected in the Los Angeles Rams organization. Not only has he handled and led their whole drafting and scouting process, he's responsible for the last 8 drafts, by the way, which we will get into some numbers down the line. But he's also in charge of spearheading their social justice.
Is he?
Yeah. So that is interesting, considering he would be just wonderful for the community, in addition to hopefully the team.
Yeah, he'd be great. And if he's social justice oriented, so is Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
And they both are.
And that I think that played a lot with Sheila Ford Hamp too, because
she's gone to justice.
She's gone to great lengths about equality.
Oh, really?
Brought in guest speakers. She's publicly said, you know what, if Kaepernick helps our team, you should definitely sign Kaepernick. I mean, she's gone out and spoken for absolutely do these things. If they're going to kneel. She's definitely been progressive in that regard.
That's great. I love that. Interesting that, they're leading Dan Campbell, who just seems like the other side. But
yeah. What is it? I know we said we were going to talk about coaches later, but what is it with us hiring coaches with these skeletons in their closet? Granted, in comparison to Patricia had in his closet.
Yeah, his
Dan Campbell's is more of like a a femur, a couple femurs, as opposed to the full on body that Patricia hid.
Yeah, Dan
But
Campbell's skeleton was hardly there, and it was
yeah,
19. Yeah, it was not even really bad at all, if you ask me. But yeah, I think Brad Holmes is definitely. Did you see his Instagram?
I did. I sent that to you.
You sent
So
that to
yes,
me.
I
Yeah,
did.
you're the one that sent it to me. Duh. But he like it's like he's like teary and he's like emotional, and it's nice to see a GM that has emotions.
Well, he got the they offered when he was here for that second interview, which by the way, he's the only GM candidate that was offered a second interview, and he was hired out of 12 candidates. When he was in that second interview, he got the job offer. And the first person he called, you know who the first person he called was?
His mother.
His mother. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Mom, you got to keep it a secret." And she just started crying. And this is what he said to her.
Oh, let's hear
She
it.
didn't say he was crying, but she said he was definitely emotional. He was definitely feeling some things. He just said to his mom, "Mom, I just really think I can make a difference."
Oh boy, and I mean, does he?
I mean, that's a guy that wants to go to work, right?
Yeah, he wants to go work, and yeah, he. Oh boy, does he need to make a difference for sure.
He does have a Lions connection as well.
Yeah, it was his uncle, right?
His uncle, Luther Bradley, was drafted in the first round of 1978 at the cornerback position. I don't
How
know where
was
his
he?
dad played, but his dad played guard too.
Oh, okay. How was
He
his
played
uncle?
D he
Was he?
played D tackle in college.
Yeah. Was his
Yeah.
uncle any good?
I think he made 3 Pro Bowls. I don't know. I'm not sure on that, but I think he did.
Did he really?
Yeah. I could be
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
you looking it up?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see how good this uncle is. If his uncle was good, then I think it's a great hire. If his uncle stunk and he washed out of league, I'm going against this hire.
Luther Campbell. Okay. Nope. No, I don't want the rapper. I want the football player.
How was he? Tell me. Let me hear a Pro Bowl. Let me hear something.
There's nothing on him.
Dang, we're screwed again.
I'm not going to do a deep dive, but let's move on from Luther Campbell to someone who I
Yeah,
can find some things on.
Looks like a
This
bad
is what
GM.
this is what Sean McVay, who says Chris Spielman called him last week, and he's like, "Tell me about this Brad Holmes guy."
Did he
This is
really?
what
So
McVay.
Spielman really is doing the work.
Yeah, I think he's making the calls.
Spielman's kind of taking over.
Yeah. This is
Great.
what McVay said. He goes, Brad's got great emotional intelligence. Even if he disagrees with you, it never feels confrontational. Says his staff it has an
Yeah.
even killed. He says he and his staff have an even killed demeanor. It's a disposition in how steady he is. He's going to be a real winning edge for the team. Great worker. Think he sees the game outstanding. Then he's got the humility where he's always trying to learn more about the game, always asking good questions in an effort to better his craft. Very specific to seeing it through a coach's eyes. Since McVay got there, McVay says Holmes and I have had a very good friendship.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense he's non-confrontational since he's in Atlanta, but
But you gotta like the idea of Holmes, who's not GM in that situation, but he is serving a front office role, having a great friendship with the head coach. I mean, hopefully that speaks to his relationship with whoever we hire.
Yeah. It seems like he's close to the coaches, and I like a GM that is kind of friendly with coaches. I don't like them to be best friends like the last ones that we had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were too close, I think.
Every time Matt Patricia saw Bob Quinn, I just imagine him. He gave him a big old bear hug.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
why Bob Quinn always had like sweaty marks on his suit, and I think it's because that's where Matt Patricia's armpits rested.
Oh, of course. And then Bob Quinn was like, "Why are you hugging me?" Because he's a dang robot, who couldn't dress himself. So maybe it's going to be nice to have a GM that can actually put on a nice suit.
Couldn't dress himself, and it looked like his mother still cut his hair.
Yeah.
His haircut was awful.
Yeah, give me a GM with some style.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I don't have this written down anywhere.
Yeah.
But Brad Holmes is one sharp dressed man. he's he's gonna go out there and he's gonna look the part.
Good. Yeah, I want some. I want a
Brad Holmes
well
isn't
dressed
buying
man.
off the rack. Okay, he's getting suits made, tailored.
But part of me wonders if like we brought in Brad Holmes. Like in the beginning, I thought it was we brought him in to help get
Staley,
Staley.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it doesn't seem the case. So I'm wondering, are are the Lions just mishmashing? Just here's a good GM, here's who we think is a good coach. You two figure it out.
Well, I mean, if we do go with Campbell, which this can also be said for Staley, they are both players coaches. I read some articles on Staley, really like him, and he's just got like a football genius. Like he's going to turn a defense around wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, on the other hand, same thing with Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, college guy. He's very apt to talking to the media. Like he's going to present himself and be like, hey, here's what we do, blah blah blah. The exact opposite of what Bob Quinn was. Same thing
Which
with
would be nice.
Dan Campbell, potentially player friendly coach who also demand. Here's the thing about Dan Campbell, and I know we're kind of like bleeding into the next one, but he came up under Sean Payton and Bill Parcells. He's a hard ass. He's a disciplinarian, very similar to the way that Patricia was, but
Mm-hmm.
his players love him.
Yes, players love. Yeah, Dan Campbell was running the Oklahoma drills. We'll talk about this next episode.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how this mishmash of these personalities. I mean, because Campbell's not Holmes' guy,
No, that's interesting too.
that they're like making them work together.
I wonder, I mean, I really, really hope that they're doing the right thing and allowing Holmes to have some legitimate say in who is the coach. I would like to know if he does sign off on Dan Campbell or if this is like, hey, I got the job, you got the job, let's figure it out. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can get behind Dan Campbell. A lot of the stuff I've seen about him is very encouraging. Reminds me a lot of John Harbaugh in that he was only a special teams coordinator. Dan Campbell was only an assistant head coach and a tight end coordinator. By the way, going to be great for TJ Hawkinson, but a leader, just a guy that people rally around. He's like, I'm gonna get coordinators that can handle it, and this is my team. We're gonna play for this goal. We're gonna play for this culture and this vibe. So I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think this has also been a question that's been churning in my brain? Why do you think ownership went with Holmes over all the other people that they were like talking about, interviewed? I mean, why not Dobble? Why not? Is it because Holmes was one of the few GMs that has a great draft record and said, yes, I am willing and will trade Stafford for picks, and ownership wants to move on from Stafford, where maybe Saleh and Dobble were like, no, we can keep him, we can turn it down. And then our ownership just like, no, we want a full rebuild.
I can't speak to what Holmes said regarding Stafford. All I can say is based on what I've read and what I've seen as far as the numbers go in his picks and development of players, if he says it's time to get rid of Stafford and then draft a quarterback, I buy it. If he's saying, no, Stafford's our guy, we're going to go, I buy it. I'm giving my faith to this guy as far as his evaluation of what should be done with Matthew Stafford. Outside, they said they wanted experience a lot during this whole process. I mean,
which
if
is
it
strange.
goes the way, yeah, we're getting 2 straight rookies, which is fine. Because in addition to experience, they also were very, very vocal about wanting a GM, given the fact that we had Mike Disner in the cap position. They wanted a GM with scouting experience. And they went out and got the scout of all scouts.
Yeah, they got the scout, but they didn't get the experience.
Well, what I think they weighed as against the experience, and this is just my opinion, what this guy does with analytics and technology is insane. It's the reason they have revolutionized the draft process in Los Angeles for the Rams.
Really? He's a huge analytics guy.
Huge analytics guy. I mean, that was, I think, the basis of his pitch. Like, here's my record in the draft. Here's this. Like, yeah, it all shows, but here's how I got it done. They drafted in the 6th round this year, Jordan Fuller at safety. No, he wasn't. There are a lot of people that he's not even going to get drafted. Didn't run a great 40. He ran a 4.6 as a safety. Nobody liked him. He was overshadowed on this like star-studded Ohio State defense. He fell to them in the 6th round, and they drafted him. He has become a starter and one of the pivotal defenders on that unit. You want to know why he wasn't concerned about this 4.6, 7 40?
No.
because he got a hold of GPS technology from Ohio State and saw that on a regular basis, Jordan Fuller hit over 20 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. He says, and then in addition to that, he goes, listen, my whole mentality when it comes to drafting is, yeah, I want to see if they can play. I want to see if they're strong. I want to see if they're fast. But what matters to me are the intangibles. And this is why he pushed for Aaron Donald, a very, like, people red flags all over the place because who's going to take a defensive tackle that's 6 foot, right? He did because he answered all these questions that Brad Holmes generally asked himself. Is this guy relentless? Is he going to work hard? Like, people got scared about, like I said, because he was a lightweight tackle. He went to Aaron Donald's pro day. Aaron Donald was out there hours before, suited up, ready to go. Like, it was just a football player who's like, I'm going to get better. And it's paid dividends.
Interesting. Okay.
Same thing with they drafted John Johnson, who was a safety in the 3rd round. Potentially a free agent if he comes over here. He's their defensive communicator. But another thing, good size, not the biggest guy, not the fastest guy, but he had these instincts where every angle he took, he shut these people down, and he just missed the Pro Bowl this year. Listen to this as far as what he is drafted. In 2016, they picked 6 people. Of those 6 people they drafted in 2016, 3 are starters. Okay. The only one in the 1st round was Jared Goff. Now, they also took Tyler Higbee, who was a tight end. They took him in. He took him in the 4th round. And Pharaoh Cooper, who's no longer on the team, but made the Pro Bowl as a kick returner. They drafted him in the 4th round. In 2017, they drafted 8 players. Of that year, 5 of them are starters. John Johnson, the 3rd, a safety in the 3rd, Cooper Kupp, wide receiver in the 3rd round, Josh Reynolds, another potential free agent possibility for the Lions, Josh Reynolds, a wide receiver in the 4th, Samson Ebukam, a linebacker in the 4th, and Gerald Everett, a tight end in the 2nd. In 2018, they had 11 picks. 4 of which are currently starters. Sebastian Joseph, a defensive tackle in the 6th, who didn't even go to the combine. Micah Kaiser, one of their best linebackers, a linebacker in the 5th, and a guard by the name of Joseph Noteboom. A tackle, but I think he's playing guard now. But anyway, they picked him in the 3rd. 2019, 8 players drafted, 3 of them starters. Offensive guard in the 5th, David Edwards. Safety in the 2nd, Taylor Rapp, and Darrell Henderson, a running back in the 2nd. 2 starters of 9 players drafted in 2020 have been starters so far. So rookies, Cam Akers in the 2nd at running back, and Jordan Fuller, safety, at 6th. I did the numbers on this. It's crazy. Almost 1 of every 3 picks they make from picks rounds 2 through 7. 1 of 3 are a starter. You want to know what the number? Less than one of every 5 from our mid to late round picks have been starters.
Oh yeah, we get like 2 starters per draft.
2016,
the
Rams and the Lions have both had 42 picks. Now, of those 42 picks for the Lions, 5 of them, the 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 5 of them have been 1st round picks that 5 of our 1st round picks are starters. So let's take those away to even the playing field. Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's 16 starters of 42 drafted for the Rams. Almost 40% of their picks are starting. 8 of our 42 are 1st round picks, or 8 of our 42 are starters. That's 19%.
Wow.
And they're not even drafting in the 1st round.
That's great. And we're getting 1st rounds. Jeez Louise. I didn't realize our drafting was that bad.
Our drafting has been pretty bad. And a lot of those people that I'm saying are part of our starters. You got guys that are like Jelani Tavai, Jared Davis.
Our starters are bad. Yeah.
Like people that aren't necessarily going to be on the team. And some of those starters also that I mentioned, Graham Glasgow, one of them, we let him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deshaun Robinson, gone. Who's actually playing now for the Rams.
Oh, because
it's crazy what he's done. And what you got to love about Brad Holmes is you love a narrative. You love a romantic
I know.
story. This
I love a
guy
story.
back in 2003 was
Uh-huh.
working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Then he
Really?
took
We'll
a
pick you up.
PR. Yeah, and you know what? You know who picked him up? The Atlanta Hawks. Who put him in a PR position. Then he got a PR position as an intern for the Rams in 2004. I'm sorry, he got a PR intern in 2003. Got promoted in 2004 to a scouting assistant. Became a national combine scout, an area scout, a national scout. By 2013, 10 years from when he was an intern, he was made the director of college scouting.
Wow, the man just climbed. He's a hard worker.
Hard worker. They compare his work ethic to that of one Ozzie Newsome,
That is huge. I love Ozzie Newsome. Got
who,
a
yeah,
great name.
arguably the greatest general manager in
Yeah.
NFL history.
If this is our Ozzie Newsome, and then we bring in Jim Harbaugh, you know,
Jim's gone. He's already signed his extension. Let that go. But listen to this. You're gonna love this. This is what it says about his work ethic. He's quoted as saying, "I've never looked for promotions. My mentality is to try to be the best at what I do. When I was an assistant, I wanted to get coffee the fastest. I wanted to make the best profile tape. I just wanted to be the best at what I was, and the opportunities then presented themselves."
this sounds like a man that is going to bring us a bowl.
Oh,
We'll see. I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. He's at least not going to bring a baseball bat into the draft room and then
Ooh.
miss on all of his drafts.
So I said his work ethic is compared to that of Ozzie Newsome. His charisma and personality compared to Mike Tomlin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I think Mike Tomlin could run for president. They've had 25 Pro Bowl selections since he's been there. And a lot of the words that are used to describe him, or phrases, I guess, leadership, intelligence, attention to detail, confidence, the kind that encourage and accommodates other voices and opinions, and don't let his nice guy demeanor fool you. He is a talent evaluating ninja.
Ooh, I love when people throw ninja into things.
Ninja's a fun word.
Yeah, there's like this. He's an insult ninja. I'm like, what? He's good at it. It just makes you think you're always good at it if you're a ninja. This is okay. Yeah, this sounds like a great guy.
I'm very excited about it. People in Atlanta were a little bummed they didn't get him. I had some people reach out on Twitter and they're like,
really?
I wanted this guy. I did podcasts. Here's some stuff. Here's all the research I've done on him. And I was like, great. And I listened to it and I got some interesting little tidbits here.
Yeah, what'd you get?
What
are some of the things some of these Atlanta people gave you?
Just stuff that I've been already said, you know, does he work hard? Is he relentless? You know, oh, this is a great quote regarding his draft mentality. You start with the heart of the player and then you put it together with the physical abilities and you see it all come together in your evaluation. This guy is crazy big on intangibles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I love it.
I like it. Yeah.
I love him. I'm excited. And you know, a lot of people call this a reach because they're like, he was fifth down on the organizational chart for the Rams. I'm telling you, man, I don't think a lot of people wanted this job. Just like I'm not sure a lot of people want the only job now, all of a sudden, that's more undesirable than the Lions is the Houston gig.
Yeah, so Houston gig sounds terrible.
We had to pluck these guys that are like maybe not viewed as surefire candidates like Bieniemy or Saleh and be like, I think down the line they're going to end up being this because we have to take what we can get.
Yeah, we're going to have to at least show that we are doing it. You know, like, you know, Sheila is going to have to like, hey, ownership like let you do your thing, and we're actually going to have to build some good teams, and then hopefully we could be the Browns or the Bills in a couple years. Oof, but yeah, we'll see what Mr. Brad Holmes is going to do. What do you think? Quick turnaround, full rebuild. What do you think he's going to do?
I mean, it all depends on what we do at Stafford, I think.
Is that what's going to? Yeah, that's what's going to boil down to.
I think so because I mean,
yeah,
our offense is good.
Yeah, and does he?
Provided
does
we get
he
a couple
want to tear
receivers.
It down? Yeah.
But if he doesn't keep Stafford, then all of a sudden, you expect some growing pains. You get excited about, the flashes we saw from DeAndre Swift. You hope to see those flashes from a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what they're going to do with Stafford. And, when Dan Campbell is the potential coach coming in, I really thought that he would definitely keep Stafford because they played together. But turns out Campbell left the year before.
Oh, Stafford came in. Oh, yeah.
Campbell's last season here was 0-16.
And now he returns.
Yeah.
The second coming to give us another 0-16. I kid.
No, Jeff, the Lions are only good for 10-6 as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, we're going 10-6 next year, baby.
Yeah. So we're drafting at 7. What do you predict? What do you predict we do?
What do I think Brad Holmes is going to do with the 7 pick? I mean, like you said, it does depend on Stafford, if he keeps him or not. If he keeps Stafford, I say we trade down. I think he's going to try to trade down as much as he can, acquire as many picks, because if this guy hits on almost half his picks, 40%,
1 in 3,
1 in 3,
33%. 1 in 3
a
are
third
starters.
Of his picks.
Yeah, but 38% have been our starters. And I want to come back to that real quick. I didn't do that because I couldn't wrap my head around all these numbers. Everything I told you about the 16 of 42 drafted in that time frame are starting, 40% starting. There are a great additional number of people playing immediate second, like rotational, getting in a defensive tackle, playing on the regular.
Oh, I'm sure.
Rotating in a linebacker. This guy hits.
Yeah. So I think, if we keep Stafford, I think he will trade down as much as he can, acquire, get 8 picks, out of this draft, and then a third of those are starters. Mwah.
I mean, even if you were to trade, and on the upside, if you trade Stafford, we're saying hypothetically at least 2 picks. We go from 5 to 7, 2 of which in the top 10, if it is with the Broncos.
Right. And then that might be where he gets his quarterback.
I would really, really love to see that, just in the idea that his last first round pick was Jared Goff, who's led them to a Super Bowl.
Maybe he sees there's a few franchise quarterbacks this year.
I do want to be crystal clear. I would not want Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'd rather have Stafford than Goff. Yeah. But if he thinks, Fields can be just as good.
Well, then that's an interesting thing too, because if he thinks Fields can be just as good, or maybe Lance in addition, say Fields falls to 7. Somebody wants, and we already have the 9th pick because we've already traded Stafford. We all of a sudden trade that 7 pick back to a team trying to get a hold of, maybe the 49ers, who are at like 14, 15, 16, whatever it is, maybe New England. Now all of a sudden we have 9 and 15, but instead of the 7 picks we have 8 or 9.
Huh. And then a third of those are starters.
Well, the thing though, too, people are saying that Fields might go number 1 because Urban Meyer's in Jacksonville. He's got that pedigree. He's like, I know what this guy is. I got a little inside track on him.
I want my guy. Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited. The Ozzie Newsome to me is the best compliment any GM could have.
All you want is, a guy that works hard.
Yeah. And he calls his mom.
Calls his mom.
I
don't do that.
Call your mom.
When I do, she yells at me. But
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But listen, I want to tell you this too. So he's drafted these types of guys. He picked Donald in the 1st. He picked Gurley in the 1st before that. Kupp in the 3rd. John Johnson in the 3rd. Ebukam in the 4th. Noteboom in the 3rd. Center Brian Allen in the 4th. Micah Kaiser, a linebacker, in the 5th. Sebastian Joseph Day, a D tackle, in the 6th. Taylor Rapp in the 2nd, a safety. Darrell Henderson in the 3rd. David Edwards, a tackle, in the 5th. Akers, a running back, in the 2nd. Jordan Fuller, a safety, in the 6th. What's most impressive, though, is he also drafted Greg Zuerlein in the 6th, who was a very good kicker for them. Janoris Jenkins, a cornerback, in the 2nd. He also picked up Johnny Hecker, who has just been the punter for the NFC in the Pro Bowl. He was an undrafted free agent, as was Corey Littleton, who is a tremendous linebacker who's fallen off a little bit playing for the Raiders. He was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't just do it in the draft. He finds rookie undrafted free agents.
Which I can't remember the last one we've had. I
can't
think the
either.
last good undrafted
Joik
free agent
Bell?
we had was no, as a D end, and then he went to Chicago. Oh, what was his name? Young?
Willie Young?
Willie Young, I think, was
He
the
got
last.
drafted.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, was he like 7th round?
Yeah, he was a later pick, but he got drafted.
Yeah, he was like the okay. So then, yeah, maybe
Kevin
Joik
Smith?
Bell. Did we drafted Kevin Smith?
Did we?
Yeah, the running back.
Are we sure?
Yeah, we drafted Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we've had like any good undrafted free agents.
And we're gonna need them
That's
because we got a
insane.
lot of roster holes. We are currently Mike Disner's got his work cut out for him. We are currently like 18th or 16th or 18th or something in cap room available. Could make some cuts and get up to like the 12th range, but even then we only have about $30 million available this year.
Right. Yeah, this year is definitely, I mean, just get half of your pieces and get the other half next year.
But in cutting people, you make more holes that you need to spend on. So it's like,
yeah,
is that really the way to go?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I would do there. You know, and also if you cut these people, how much dead money do they create? Trey Flowers, that terrible contract we're stuck with.
Can't do that one.
Yeah.
Can't do Halapulier Vaitai either. His dead cap kills us.
Yeah. So he's going to have to clean up Bob the Builder mess.
If he would have been successful, that's what people would have called him.
They were calling him that. It was like everyone's like, "Oh, thanks, Bob the Builder. Look at this." And then after 2 seasons, people were like, "I don't know if he's that great." And everyone's like, "No, he is." And then he stunk and he's out.
Bob's not really in the business of construction; it's more or less destruction.
Yeah. Now we got Sherlock Holmes finding us good players.
Oh wow! Get the bold print ready. There is.
You know.
Oh. Sherlock Holmes unlocks the mystery of the Lions draft.
Yeah. Solves the mystery. Of the Lions curse.
Oh. Now you know what, Holmes. If Holmes is going to be our Sherlock Holmes solves the mystery of the draft, then you kind of have to trade for Deshaun Watson, right? Holmes and Watson. You kind of got to make the move.
Yeah, we get Holmes and Watson. They're like, "Where's the curse and why?" And it turns out it's just Ford's anti-Semitism.
It turns out it's just the only thing we were missing was just an incredibly mobile quarterback. That was the mystery. All right, buddy. Well, that's Brad Holmes. Give me on a scale of 5-star scale. How excited are you about the hire?
With the Brad Holmes hire?
Yeah.
I'll give it I'll go to 4.
That's where I'm at too. I want to give it less, but it's hard to given what he's done in the draft. I am skeptical on the pro personnel side, but I have no reason to not have faith in him until he gives me one.
Yeah, a little skeptical on his pro personnel and what he does with his coaching staff.
What if he brings his mom on to handle pro personnel? What if like his uncle was a cornerback, his dad was a guard, and his mom was just like that veteran? He is a solid veteran.
No, I say we bring in Bob Quinn to cover our pro personnel. I want him back in office but demoted.
We have so much fun throughout the entire conversation, and then you say something like that, and I feel like I have to go take my blood pressure pill. All right, buddy. Well, I will talk to you when this head coaching decision is finalized.
Yeah, we'll go over.
Or maybe we even wait so we can discuss the coordinators, because if it is in fact Dan Campbell, the coordinators are going to be a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest key. And everyone's like, well, what happens if his coordinators get poached? It's like, well, that means we're winning, baby.
Yeah, and if he does it right, and he brings up a guy like Aaron Glenn, DB coordinator, minority coach, all of a sudden we get 2 extra 3rd-round picks. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Brad Holmes is a genius, he's gonna be like, I want nothing but POCs. I need picks.
I need trading ammo, baby.
Yeah, I need trading ammo. I don't want a single white person in a position of power on this entire team. He just calls up Dan Campbell. All right, we're gonna hire you, but I need you to come out as at least buy.
We're gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna need you to come out as at least buy, and we're gonna spin those comments you made as you were struggling with your own identity. Okay, it was a different time. You were playing college football in the South. It wasn't acceptable back then. Full story circle. We're gonna get the press on this. We're gonna get first. We're gonna be the first team to get first round compensatory picks. I can't say that word.
Yeah, we end up like 20 picks.
This is the first time they're so wowed with the way Brad Holmes handled the situation that there's an expansion draft where the Lions can just go through and pick one player from each team.
That's the dream.
I'm going to sleep on that, man. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you.
Bye.